Hey, I just wanted to take the time real quick to thank everybody for that will watch now and in the future for even taking the time to bother with a piece of programming for YouTube known as William the Bastard Speaks. It means a lot that you will take the time out of your busy days and actually even listen to a fellow citizen of the United States of America. Thank you, and thank you, friends and family. I love you guys. Anyway, to get started, I want to bring this to a close. This episode here, episode one. This is conclusion of diagnosis, part three of episode one. And since we covered the isms, I just wanted to diagnose and identify the agencies and divisions of government that now work against the liberty, freedom, individualization, the independence, and the very prosperity of our country that more or less want to enslave us as capital zombies and are working hard every day to manipulate you and to divert your attention from subjects you might otherwise pay attention to. Now, I want to keep this brief this time. I'll start from the highest agencies. First of all, you've got the main branches of government have been infiltrated by corporate agents. They are subcontracted through corporations and business interests that we'll get to in a minute. These branches of government are pretty much the very things that pass and legislate all the laws that we are forced to live under, and these laws become more numerous every day, and it becomes more pressed every day. And they're delivered, they're legislated, they're passed through Congress and Senate that have been taken over by Republicans and conservatives and liberals and Democrats that are working together to line their pockets and get endorsements to stay in power from these lobbyists, from these corporations and insurance agencies and banking systems that are international. They're on a global scale. And of course, none other than Congress and Senate is the main legislative bodies that put these laws into effect. Things that slip under us, and they're well-paid people, they're elected officials. It looks like they take the time to read the bills. It ought to be mandatory that they do, and that nothing that doesn't get read doesn't get passed. They ain't got the time to read it, then it doesn't get passed. There's so many different things I could get into. Let's go over it. Congress, Senate, the federal judicial system, the Supreme Court that passes these things into effect. It makes our lives just a misery to live in comparison to the liberties and freedoms we knew not even that long ago in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. This country's totally changed into a fascist dictatorship under a republic guise. There should be no professional politicians elected, as a professional politician is incapable of properly representing the people of the United States of America, or even themselves, because they are so involved in just simply trying to draw a check. If these people are getting paid, they should read the fucking bills before they get passed. It's that simple. We got to get these guys out. Democrats, Republicans, they all got to go. Vote your neighbors in. I'm not going to get into the cure yet. Um, the other governing body, should I say, the Drug Enforcement Administration, which is fighting a losing war and will always fight a losing war. Men have got high off toxic substances for thousands of years now. Nothing's going to change that. As soon as they make something illegal, something else pops up. A lot of the drugs that are confiscated have been proven to wind back up in different cities across America that are supposed to be confiscated for evidence and get convictions for the DEA. This is ridiculous, and it's starting to affect the ability for low-income insurance recipients to even get certain medications that they may need because the DEA is so extensive in its policing of drugs and prescription narcotics. It's this simple. If the drug's that fucking bad, if you're worried about people, oh God, they might enjoy it. It's like a Catholic priest worrying about a married couple back in the 1400s enjoying their sex life and not just worrying about making a baby. How that one's supposed to happen, I don't know. But back to the course, what I'm saying here, you know, The VA blows through billions and billions and billions of dollars yearly, decadely, fighting a total losing battle. They need to hang it up. What a person does to their body is up to them. This was discussed in Roe versus Wade. People are allowed to have abortions no matter how many objections the opposition to that bill stood. If people have the right to their bodies, everybody should have the right to their bodies. Do what you want with them. It's your body. The thing is, if it becomes a danger, then that person should be held directly legally responsible for that. Up until that time, they should not be held legally accountable for some sort of substance they may hold for whatever reason. I understand there is an epidemic of drugs across the globe. To fight it is a whole other issue. Let's move on real quick. Of course, all of these governmental agencies are supported by the out-of-date electoral college voting system, which we only needed when we were on horseback and we were facing a whole entire different terrain in this country without infrastructure, any roads or development going on. So it was important to have an electoral college in those frontierish times. But to have one now, as I've said in a previous episode, it's just criminal and it needs to be disbanded. The only reason that's there is as an insurance policy to the corporations they can fall back on if they don't like who the hell gets elected, or somebody too crazy the public might accidentally have a brain fart and get smart. Vote for your neighbors. That's all I can say. Get rid of these guys. Don't vote Democrat. Don't vote Republican. Don't vote conservative. If they're endorsed by lobbyists and can do not vote independent. Don't pick agents that are going to oppress you and may not even intentionally want to do that at first, but must to receive their endorsements and to continue and further their political careers. All right, we all know that the oil industry and undoubtedly the Federal Reserve and banking systems are all in on this together. And the automotive industry definitely is tied in with this. These are all our enemies I'm mentioning, by the way. All of them are enemies to your liberty, to your freedom. They're all working against the whole entire civilian population, especially low income, and especially you middle class, which you're becoming like a rare dinosaur these days. You're either on the upper edge of that middle range, or you're heading my direction right here with most of us. Welcome on, come on down. Um, the healthcare and pharmaceutical industries, no doubt, why things the way it is because they're making bank compared to other nations where they could go. They make nothing because they got different healthcare policies that people may disagree or agree with. I believe everybody does have a right to healthcare. However, on the privatization of that, I'm not sure. That should be thoroughly analyzed and shouldn't just be, these Patriot Acts and, demanding people have health insurance. This shouldn't just be flying through there. They don't even read the fucking bills, people. What do we hire these butt monkeys for? Okay, defense contractors, weapons manufacturers, military supply companies, they're all making bank off these wars. They can't get other countries to purchase their goods on the level that we have spent trillions mindlessly. Yes, we want it, even though it doesn't work. Um, People in the military class that control the decisions the military makes, the defense department, decides what they're going to purchase and invest in. And these contractors, just like they sell your doctors pills, sell weapons to um, the militaries. Yeah. Undoubtedly, the broadcast system, the media, the mainstream broadcasting systems, satellite cable network. As you've noticed, there's been a dramatic change since recent times with broadcast TV. It's now digital. You don't even have a standard television anymore. And it's more easy to control and manipulate that way. And not only that, it does give you a prettier picture. How impressive. I'm so fascinated by shiny things. Wow, are we fucking apes? Get with it, guys. Um, Ladies, um, you know, I'm all for representing your nation, your country, your race, whatever you want to do. I think everybody should have the equal right to do so, to display their cultural leanings, the racial leanings. They should have the right to do that. All races, all equally, without being accused of being racist for doing it. It's good to have pride in ourselves, and it's good to be individuals. What rule says we have to destroy all races and make them one? I'm not sure. I would like to think there's going to be black people, Latino people, white people in 400 years. That's not their concern, though, about the brave peoples that we are all descended from, no matter what race we are. They want us to forget about those tribal bygone days, those noble kings. So we do not care about them. We're concentrated and focused on buying their products and being the consumer pets that they wish. When we fail to spend our money properly, when we start investing our money, well, we have too much money and they can't handle that. They want the money. And that's why people can't afford savings accounts these days. They're lucky to balance a fucking checkbook in this economy. Geez, here I am going on and on. I wanted to keep this brief, I really did, but there's so much going on to talk about. And the broadcast industry is the last enemy I want to cover today. And I want to thank everybody for watching the William the Bastard Speaks show. And stay tuned. We'll be covering several other issues in upcoming episodes. Some of these will be a little bit more brief, and this introductory one will be in 3 parts. Once again, thanks for watching, man. And have a happy fucking New Year, man. And may it be a more liberating New Year for the civilians of the United States.